Oh, hey, hi. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Goat Force Gaming channel where we play the roguelikes and the roguelites and hopefully add all kinds of awesome games to your backlog or your wish list or your now playing list, what have you. We're going to add to it. Hey, you know what we're going to do today? We're going to do a full run in Darkest Dungeon 2 because I love this game. We're going to take our time with it. I've got a full cup of coffee. I'm going to explain the different things that we're doing across this run. I would advise you at this point, pause the video, go grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea. This, in theory, could be a longer video and really want it to be just a relaxing trip into the oblivion. So go do that now and come on back and we'll strap on in here. So what we first need to do is pick a party. These are the folks that I like running with typically and have had the most success with them. We have to choose a path, and you're going to open these from a meta progression standpoint along the way. I like Sharp Shot. It focuses on Dismas's shooting capabilities. He's going to get some additional buffs there. With the Plague Doctor, I like to max out the opportunity to spread poisonous plague. So we're going to go with Alchemist. For the Jester, I typically run with Soloist because I like building up that hot bleed. So we're going to do that. And then for the Hellion, she's going to be our normal damage doer up front. She's probably going to take more hits. Usually this front spot is where a lot of the damage lands from the enemies. So that said, the paths are picked. Now we're going to kind of determine which skills these folks are going to come in with. You can change these during the run, but I kind of like to set them up front because, well, I start battling out there and I get in and I go, oh, dang it, I didn't set them up. So I try to do that. Now we are going to run with all of those and then this as well. And I'll kind of explain these attacks when we get into the battle and why I like them and so on and so forth. I wanted to do a video that was kind of more set up for the Darkest Dungeon beginners of the world. I too was a beginner at one point in time, and I think that this game can be a little bit obtuse. There's a lot to learn with it, but you know, I'm 70 hours in or so, and I've gotten through what I would call the tutorial phase of the game. So we're gonna go ahead and set off here, and you're gonna see very quickly that this is basically the Oregon Trail straight to hell. But we're gonna have a good time with it. Darkest Dungeon 2 is really a game where you are just managing the big bad all the time and choosing the best option out of several bad options. That's typically what we're doing here. Okay, Altar of Hope. This is the meta progression center of the game.
Study the winding roads and routes of our kingdom.
Different areas where you can sink points into. This, of course, is benefiting very much so how much stuff we can hold along the way. And then it also influences our ability to run over debris and catch loot. This is similar. It enhances your starting items and some things that proc when you visit certain areas. This is just simply to unlock different stagecoach skins. I haven't put many points into there because I need all the help I can get. This is a new system that's coming. I don't know what it's going to drive, but I will say I'm excited about it. So you get these candles during your run, and then you can come in before each trip you take and spend them. And the items that you do get while spending appear in your wagon as well. So it's a nice boost to the journey right off the bat. So we'll grab an in item here, see what we get. Wild tea. Remove negative quirk, remove positive quirk. Oh, wow. Okay. 25% chance to lose something good. A lot of help me hurt me's throughout the game. I can't afford any more here, but you'll notice I've opened up all the major trinkets in the game and all of the stagecoach items as well, which means we can find them out in the world once we start our voyage here. I'm going to put the rest of the points into the character progression here. You'll see along the way that this is how we open up the paths that we selected in the beginning. And there's also some character buffs that happen here as well. You'll see right there, more resistance toward disease, resistance toward death's door, and we're working towards the signature in item. I'm pretty excited about that one. So anyway, let's
Once more
take
into
off.
the maelstrom, in search of what hope yet remains.
Okay. So we're going to be doing a lot of this throughout our run. In theory. I mean, maybe the wagon snaps in half early on in the voyage. It has happened before. This game will throw all kinds of stuff at you.
Desperation can be eased.
All right. So then it comes down to making choices. And if you look below there, the different choices are going to yield different potential gangs. Now, I'm going to go with the trinket chance and the boost to our flame. Talk about that in a minute. All right, that's a good one. So each of our characters can hold 2 trinkets. A lot of the trinkets are help me hurt me's. The blue represents the more unique ones, and then the gold indelible trinkets are usually just help me's, but a lot of these have a help me hurt me. So, you know, turn start, 15% chance to get a dodge positive token. And if we miss, we've got a 15% chance to get blindness. So again, help me hurt me. And then we've got an item that we can use in the inn as well. And again, I'll kind of comment on things as they happen. The goal here is to have folks watch this video and be able to decide, hey, is this a game that I would enjoy? Would I enjoy sinking many, many hours into the game? Because, quite honestly, that's what it takes to get good at it. In its current form, in early access, there are 5, I believe, different boss encounters, each having a separate act. And I have not beaten a single boss yet. You know, the game is difficult. All right, let's take a look at the stagecoach items here. Chance to produce contraption items before each location. Now, if we get this, it's going to be good, but it's going to zap a lot of our relics. You have different forms of currency that you're going to use along the way. But I like this one, so I'm going to go ahead and take that, and when we get to the inn, we're going to be able to throw that onto our wagon. We can't do it right now. There's certain steps that you can only do when you reach the inn. It's kind of a safe haven, place where you can buff your characters, you can buff your wagon, you can use certain items to, you know, restore health to your characters or take away from their stress meter. Because your folks are going to get stressed out along the way, let me tell you.
You see, even your valley is not immune to the spreading stain.
Okay, so in her current position, because position also determines which skills you can utilize, she's got a couple of nice attack features. She can also attack the enemy in the 4th position back here. There's nobody currently, so that skill is not active for us. Looks like she also came in with something that gives her a bleed condition. I'm not sure how that happened. All right. We'll investigate that. This is a great character because we can hit the back row. She also has a move where she can drop napalm, and it'll clear out corpses that block some of the other characters from attacking deeper on. So we'll do that. All right. I like the Jester quite a bit. Typically, this is going to attack 2 enemies at the same time, but you'll see positionally, there's only 1 enemy there right now, so we'll just go with that. Okay. Now that negative icon meant loss of turn, so I do prefer attacks that hit multiple enemies at once. That one in particular that Dismas just used also applies this positive icon where we get plus 50% damage next time. So you try to just make the best out of each turn that you have, really.
So unpleasant in the extreme. This work is
all right.
noble.
So then we've got these mastery points, and these are going to allow us to upgrade our techniques once we get to the inn. And we'll show that off as well.
Rest and resupply await you.
Now, I will tell you that I am using a trainer to double the amount of mastery points that I acquire along the way. Occasionally, I will look at a roguelike or a roguelite and play it for many, many hours, and then sometimes I will give myself a little bit of an advantage along the way through the use of a trainer. I don't want to, go God mode with it, but sometimes I just like to tweak certain elements of it, and I think that after the 60 to 70 hours that I've put in, I've earned another step on the goat progression tree, and I have decided to double the mastery points. So we'll see if that actually worked, because I didn't kick it on right away. We'll see if it triggered here. Okay, so it didn't. We're at 2 mastery points, but going forward, it will double any earnings from a mastery point standpoint. So what I'm going to do is upgrade the skills that I use most frequently, and I'm going to focus initially on the skills that hit 2 enemies at once. So you'll see that the 2 to 4 damage goes to 4 to 6, and the crit percentage also doubles. All right, so that's the mastery. We're going to throw this on there.
Plan accordingly.
So our wagon's all set with some contraption production. And those are single-use battle items. We already talked about how we eliminated a lot of our relics at this point on that purchase, but that's okay. That's gonna pay off. What we'll probably do here is buy some food. I'm gonna go ahead and give the loss of turn resistance to Boudica, and we don't have a need for this right now, so we're gonna go back to the provisioner, go to the inn items, and we're gonna buy some food here. Boy, I really hope those contraptions pay off. We went all in on that. The food is a item that you're going to use in the inn. It buffs your max HP and, in this case, some resistance as well. That's a more expensive food. Was he selling bread at all? No. Okay. The bread is only a cost of 8, and it simply provides that 20% buff and doesn't include the extra resistance. All right, so let's pick a route here.
Torment. Every turn bent on our destruction.
All right, so these are the rewards, and this is what we're dealing with in the area. So this is going to drain our flame faster. We'll talk about that in a second. And the goal would be to keep the flame at 40 plus. That's going to be very difficult. Let's take a look at this one. Plus 10% meltdown chance. That happens if somebody gets too stressed out, which I don't see happening in this first area. And then the goal is to clear out the lair, which is probably something else we're not going to do.
Another nameless city.
But I don't know. You never know.
Another inferno of mutilation.
So we're going to go that route, and we're going to depart here. So the flame is something that we carry with us on the wagon, and that dictates different percentage chances of things happening, both good and bad. All right. Yeah, it looks like a nice place to visit, doesn't it? All of the places in our journey are going to make you feel like that. But I really like the world they've put together here. I think they really nailed the art style that they were going for.
Behold,
you know, it's a game that just makes you feel
cities
good.
of man, ruined
All right.
and aflame.
So let's take a look at our map here and see what kind of route we can put together. A lot of these areas, we can't see what they are yet. If we can hit a watchtower somewhere along the way, that will identify these different areas for us. That's the lair, in case we decide we want to try and clear that out. That's very difficult to do, especially early on when your characters are not really outfitted with proper trinkets and mastery points and all kinds of that stuff. So, well, at least we've got a bread for the next inn. I said I would talk about the flame. So it's currently at 88, and you'll see all of the benefits to the hero's side. As that flame drains, and it does as we move along our journey, those bonuses are going to move over to the enemy's side. So we don't want that to happen. We're also building upon the relationships of our characters along the way. You see the gold silhouette behind them? That represents that they're going to like this person's choice. Now, specifically, we're going to go with this choice because if we do, the enemies are going to start with a vulnerable. And then you're seeing that we're building the relationship. Sometimes there's a blue silhouette behind those folks, and that means that they're going to develop some hatred for you if you go with that choice. Again, you have to balance making the best choice and dealing with whatever the outcome is. It's a great start. Cheers to you, by the way. I started my morning off with a pistachio latte coming from the Starbucks team, and finished that up. But I was left with a little bit of the pistachio flavoring and steamed milk at the bottom, and so I said, boy, you know, might be a good idea to put together a coffee in that same cup. You know, what would mix with that? And so I put together what I'm calling the Maddie KO special. Maddie is one of our tremendous community members, and he challenged me at one point in time to make a fizzy coffee where I carbonated the water and then brewed the coffee in it, and that was bad. So today I went with a different Maddie KO special, and I've combined a cup of Jim's Organic Double Chocolate with the leftover pistachio latte, and I'm gonna tell you that this one works. So cheers to you. Hope you've got something nice in your cup. All right, so when those symbols pop up like that, that is the stress symbol. And we've got the stress bar down here. If they go to 10, they have a chance to either have a meltdown or go resolute. Chances are they're going to have a meltdown. If you can pull off a resolute, awesome stuff happens for that character and for the other characters around them. If a meltdown occurs, it's usually a loss of HP, the others develop hatred for that person, and things don't get awesome. All right, so here's the indelible trinket that I was talking about, the gold surrounded one. These are very good, so we will place that on one of our characters for sure. Let's take a look here and see what we want to do. Plus 50% resistance. So usually what I do is take a look and say, well, what does everybody's resistance look like to being moved? And, you know, the Plague Doctor has higher resistances across the board. So what I'll probably do is put it on her, because she is also a character where if she gets moved around, it really stunts her capabilities. You know, they're telling us right now that she's best positioned in the front, and these are going to be her typical targets. So you've got a really nice readout there. But again, if this is your first time coming to the game, you're looking at some of this stuff and you're going, what does that even mean? And, you know, that's why I wanted to make this video, to kind of just talk along the way, have a nice and easy run, hopefully. And, you know, try and highlight some of these things.
Rummage through the shelves.
All right, the academic study, always a weird stop along the way. Never really know what's going to happen here. He wants to leave. That's what that icon means down there, which I don't blame him. He also wants to leave, and they both seem to agree on this, so we don't have options with either of these two. I'll say this, though, about this particular stop. It can sometimes result in getting some really cool items, but usually you're also going to develop a trait that is either going to be a help me hurt me or just a hurt me. I don't always steer towards them, but there are some combat use items that appear here, which, by the way, we're developing these now. We should throw those on to use them in combat. That's what that wagon item is doing for us. Okay. Anyway, there are some items that appear at that area that are quite destructive to the enemies. But I don't always visit those areas if I can avoid them. Alright, so here's what I like doing, is looking kind of down the path and deciding if I want to, you know, put a hurtin' on them with a combat item. I think in this case, though, we're just gonna roll. We'll go ahead and use, well, you know what, I guess let's avoid his turn if we can here. Perfect. So that takes him out of the line, and we go right to our turn. You can kind of just control the match that way. Now, we're not going to be strong enough to eliminate this guy, so I'm going to go with the double here. And then we put the blight on them. They're going to take 3 damage for 3 turns. So it operates similar to poison in RPGs. This game is going to release in full in May, and I think that's super exciting. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and shoot this back row out. And what do we want to do here? I'm thinking we get this guy because he's up next. Okay. So, in this case, I wish we could hit this guy, but I think both of these guys are going to die on their own because of the ailments affecting them, so we'll just go with this.
The work continues.
And then this should eliminate him. Good. You like being able to get through a battle without getting too dinged up.
The spoils,
Oh, look at this. What do we got? Melee skills plus 10% crit. If medicinal herbs is equipped, plus 50% healing given. Turn start, if first in turn order, we get a negative icon. So see, even the indelibles are out to get you sometimes. We are not using the Plague Doctor's melee skills because of the path we picked, and I'm not too worried about medicinal herbs and plus 50%. So I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm going to leave that. I'm just going to take the resources. I'm going to leave that for the next traveler. If there was an opportunity to sell those, then I would have absolutely taken it. But unfortunately, right now, there's no way to sell the trinkets. They just kind of sit in your wagon and take up space. All right, so let's see what the deal is here. Some good food, but look at the loss we're going to take to the flame. And our flame is sitting at 64. See how those bonuses are dissipating on the left side there? This is going to buff our flame. We're going to take a hit in relationship from the Plague Doctor, but the Hellion over here is happy about it. A lot of hatred for just leaving. And see, now this is actually the way I'm leaning. Although I like the option to get some food as well. Alright, I'm putting it in the flame. Flame and the 2 positive relationship increases there. Which, by the way, the relationship piece is what leads to some additional buffs that can happen along the way on the journey. I think we're going to go towards this battle. Down here, you'll see their preference. That affects them building up some stress as well when you don't do what they want you to do. It's hard to please everybody. I would say at this point, I'm pretty happy with the way the journey is going so far. Let's see if there's any bonuses we can get. No bonuses. And by that I mean what's happening down here with each decision. Alright, so you know what? It looks like we're gonna just avoid this battle because these two are gonna be ticked off if we play it. So we're gonna do that.
A simple choice.
And let's just take a look at the map here. I'm going to head towards the hero shrine. That's going to net us a mastery point.
Destiny will not be denied.
So we'll go off to the right here. Oh, that's good. We'll have an assistance encounter.
Place for decent folk.
I'm going to check our situation here, so I know we're making supplies along the way. Okay. You always want to make sure that your characters are outfitted as much as possible, because once you get to your next location, it's too late to add items. Ooh, that's a good one. That one that just popped. We're going to put that on the Boudica. And again, that's a contraption that we're making along the way. That's why that wagon item costs what it does. Cost of 80 shows up for the better wagon items out there. Okay, let's try and not develop hatred if we can avoid it. This is probably the way I'm leaning. Like keeping that flame up. Things can really get nasty on you fast if this drops too low. You also have to monitor the loathing over here. You can knock down the loathing bar by going to battles. But as this loathing bar builds, you also have additional opportunities to build up stress from your characters. They might be nasty to each other while riding in the wagon. It can all go to hell on you real fast if you're not careful. All right. Speaking of stress, I'm not happy about this 6 out of 10, and I think that we're going to want to address that this time. I also think that I don't want to take damage from the immolatist, so we are producing contraptions at a good rate. I'm going to spend some of these this time. 50% chance to miss next attack, so we'll hope that we come out on the right side of that. This icon over here knocks down the damage, but thankfully, we're not trying to do damage. We're trying to add blight. And it looks like that's going to get through on both of them, which is great.
And steady.
Okay. So we did a buff instead of an attack, which is fine. This guy has a chance to dodge, so I won't attack him right now. And then this is good timing here because maybe we'll be able to take this guy out. Perfect. Can you tell I've played once or twice? I just have such a joy with this game. You know, once you get over the fact that you're going to lose a lot, you just kind of get in here and have fun with it. I find it really relaxing. I know how crazy that sounds. Probably want to go after this guy at this point. I don't think we talked about Death's Door yet. Death's Door is one's capability to avoid death when they've hit 0 health, and our characters can do that as well. But there are some debuffs, because of course there are, when you hit Death's Door. Hey, we were still able to get the hit off. That's great. And these guys are positioned really well for the Jester. Perfect. Apply some bleed. And we gave the combo icon as well. Some of our characters have the ability to combo off of this. So, like with this one, ignores 30% resistance when the target has the combo. However, I think we're going to try and... Well, you know what? Maybe we will try and take this guy out before his turn. All right, more blight. That should eliminate him. Perfect. All right, good deal. That wasn't too bad. I mean, if you can come out of a battle not too banged up, it's a good thing. Ooh, plus 20% healing given. I think that will probably go on our Plague Doctor. Because our Plague Doctor has the healing skill. So we'll situate that over there for right now. This powder operates similarly to the napalm drop from the Plague Doctor to clear out corpses, but everybody's kind of full up right now when it comes to items, and I like the way things are situated. Okay, now the Shrine of Reflection. I have completed everybody's Shrines of Reflections, all the characters that I typically run with. But as you visit shrines, you are able to open up different skills that are selectable for your character. And sometimes the shrine just offers a story to watch. I'm actually going to go towards the lair. Sarmeni is excited about that. Sometimes it's just a story bit that you're going to watch, and that'll open up a skill for you.
I trust you have calculated
Sometimes
your
there's
odds
an
carefully.
encounter
This
as well that you have to get through. And they give you the backstory of the character. It's actually really cool. Okay. So, here we go. Now, I'm thinking that I would like to eliminate some of this stress, and she has a skill where if she's at 5 stress, she's not, takes away 2 of her stress, and then for allies that are at 5+, it's going to knock out 1 of their stress. So I think we're going to do that on this battle because I'm not too worried. Now the problem is she's going to come in with this, and it's going to knock out 3 of her speed per winded token and minus 33% damage. But again, I'm not too worried about this battle, so I think we'll be okay here. And we knocked out some stress for Dismas, which was the goal all along. The last thing I want to do is go into a lair encounter with a lot of stress. You might be saying, but Goat, why are we going to the lair? Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll address it when we get there. All right. So I think probably just want to take this guy out. We'll let Boudica take out this guy in the front, maybe. This guy might just do himself, and he's got 9 health. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. We might have to help with that. Who's up next? Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Maybe we can take this guy out. One time. Hey, there it is. Even with the winded, we got it. Feel good about that. All right, a little bit more blight. Yeah, there it is.
in crisis, no gain is insignificant.
Now, the nasty icons like the winded, the bleed, the blight, that kind of stuff, that all comes off at the end of each battle. Until it happens again next time. Because it will. Alright. Sometimes you end a battle and the wagon's in a different spot and you get this black screen. It's early access. It's okay. It's okay. They'll straighten all of that out. They've got time. Okay, the Great Library. This is a lair. Lairs have 3 battles. in succession.
burns.
See, this is
And with it,
battle
the
number
remains of
1. At the
philosophy,
end is a
reason,
boss
and insight.
that you have to fight. And the reason why you might want to take on a lair at some point in time in your journey is because if you don't, and you manage to make it to the last inn, that is where your journey will stop. You will not be able to get into the darkest dungeon if you do not first complete the lair all the way and earn a trophy from the lair. That's your ticket in to the darkest dungeon. Alright, so who's up next? This guy. Well, maybe we can do it. Hey! You love to see it. Love to see a skip turn. Alright, so he's going buff mode. This guy's coming with a swipe. That did give us blight. I don't love that. Let's see if we can take one of these guys out.
Bravo!
Alright, at least we're spreading blight. Let's take a shot at the back here. Perfect.
Take heart and do not relent.
You gotta love Wayne, right? Now this guy's gonna die anyways. On his own, I think. I don't think he's gonna end up on death's door. But we'll help him. We'll help him there. Because we're kind. So we are gonna advance. Things are going well. We're gonna advance. If things are not going well, and you try to push on, you're probably going to lose. Things will not go well for you. That's typically how these lairs play out. All right, so we got a big Mamma Jamma over here, the old Pit Fighter. Remember that one on the Sega Genesis? The old Pit Fighter. What a time. I think I'm gonna go after the Shaman first, because he's really gonna mess things up if he's around long enough. Okay. So you might be wondering, well, how are we able to hit these two? This guy is taking up 2 spots. So this is the back row right now. That's why that works the way it works. All right. Yeah, that's why we got to get rid of these 2 guys. They're troublemakers. I think we go with this. All right. Hey,
Development.
I like that. Okay. I am leaning this way. You know what? I'm gonna go a different route. So this is gonna move our Jester back 1 step, which is fine. He's got a lot of moves where he can, move himself around. But this also has a chance to cause blindness, and this guy's up next. So we're gonna hope that pays off for us. Well, it was worth a try.
To falter.
He hit him so hard it knocked him back. Wow, okay. This guy's getting a little nasty here. Time to get rid of this dude. Alright, Death's Door. Maybe the Blight will take him out. Oh. So Death's Door also applied 2 weaknesses. I'm going to kind of count on the Blight here. I think we need to start working on that guy. I'm saving this for in case we want to take on the big boss. So let's see if maybe we can get through here. It's a coin flip. All right, that worked out. We're gonna go with bleed this time, and yeah, that's what we'll do. Still counting on Blight to knock him out next time. We're just gonna try to apply some Blight here. Good deal. Oh, wow. Holy moly. Oh, uh-oh. Okay. All right. Let's leave her alone. You big jerk. Okay, now he's gonna sit on death's door for a minute. I mean, I'm hopeful. Oh. Okay, I'm glad, because now we've got the opportunity here to heal, and that's also going to wipe out the fire damage that we were taking over time. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Perfect. Now, this is a really tough decision. Really tough decision because our Plague Doctor has low health. Everybody else, I'd argue, though, they're doing okay. And we would get some nice rewards here. This is the trophy that I was talking about. So anytime we crit, we're also going to give 3 damage over time. Chance that we might start on fire as well. Then we have this one, 100% fire dealt. Yeah. So there's some good stuff here. Apply on hit, 33% chance. So, you know, a lot of fire stuff happening. We're gonna gamble, okay? And it might not pay off, but we're gonna gamble. I think that the Librarian, which is a very apt title for this dude, is one of the
be destroyed.
It's one of the easier of the bosses to take on, I think. Ooh, that's gonna help a little bit. That's great. So let's see how we do here. I'm hoping this takes effect. Oh. All right, that's okay. So we can still hit the back row with her. I don't know if this guy applies bleed with his attacks. We can hover over him usually and get some additional information. Okay, so it doesn't look like he applies bleed. It's just going to be a lot of burn. So this is worthless in this battle. Also, we're going to have a tough time reaching him early on, but eventually he's going to whittle down these book stacks and we are going to be able to hit him. So for now, what do we want to do here? You know what? We'll move him up and give him some additional attack damage. It's usually something beneficial you can still do with your different characters. I think he's immune to this, but we could try it. Yeah. Okay. So that's all right. But we definitely want to hit him with a plague grenade. Guy likes burning books. I mean, what can I say? I knew he was going to hit our Plague Doctor. All right. That was a nice hit. Don't worry, that wasn't me. It was a set of books.
Steady yourself.
Ooh, okay. So when we get to our Plague Doctor, we've got to do something about that loss of health. But now we can start applying bleed with our Jester. When he doesn't dodge us, of course. Okay, let's... You know what? Let's see if this will work for us. Oh, wow. Okay, that's great. That's really good because she was not going to be able to reach him.
This is no time to falter.
And yes, I am very concerned about this right now. Chances are we're not going to get a resolute, and it's going to be a meltdown instead. Well, we're just going to go for it. Oof. Now she's got 50% chance to miss. We could go with a drink here, but I'd like to wait until it's going to also heal her, and the life bar just doesn't support that right now. So we're gonna just go for it. It happens. Let's go ahead and apply some bleed here, hopefully.
The enemy weakens and wanes.
And we will go ahead with a heal. Okay, what do we got? All right. All right. So, everybody develops some hate. Big loss to the life bar as well. Just like in real life, right? When you have a meltdown. Okay. Well, our journey on the wagon may come to a premature end. Never really know what you're going to get out of a run. And I did know going in that this was a little bit of a gamble. Wow, I am really surprised that went through. Okay. Now, that arrow down means that if I give the healing to dismiss, it's really going to piss off the jester, and vice versa, because they both need it. This game is evil, folks. So maybe we just give it to... maybe we just give it to the Plague Doctor. Hard to say. Nah.
Dragged back from the brink.
We'll go that route. Alright. One time. Or not. Okay. The problem is that this guy continues to stack on tokens that make it hard for us to get a hit in. And he also gets to double up on turns. And so these things just start to stack over here.
The slow suffering begins.
Oh, Wayne. Couldn't be more right, buddy. Hey, at least we got some bleed happening. Oh, boy. Okay.
Favorably rounded down.
All right. So that was bad. We definitely need our Plague Doctor. But you know what? Sometimes your characters in the Oregon Trail got the mumps, and you know, next thing you knew, you were out there burying them, and it is what it is. You make the best of it, right? You get the mumps, diphtheria. This game's, you know, it's similar in that regard. Things get bad, and then they get worse. All right, you just roll with it. You do the best you can. Boy, I am leaning towards the heal, but at some point, does it even make sense? You know, while she's got the amount of health she does, I'm going to hold off on that, and I guess I'm just going to try and apply damage. But I'm thinking that this next turn is going to eliminate one of these guys. Wow, okay. And they're really sticking with it. I appreciate that.
Find peace.
Spoke too soon. Okay. Now, at this point, you might be saying, my God, why would anybody play this game? I understand where you're coming from. Hear me out on this. The game is extremely, extremely difficult. A lot of times, you're going to get crushed like I am right now. But, on occasion, you are going to come in and have an epic run, and you are going to be the one crushing this game. And I'm going to tell you what, it feels so, so good. And, you know, if people enjoy this video and they want to see more Darkest Dungeon 2, I will continue doing runs. I'm happy to do them. I like playing this game. A lot of times, I play this game, you know, 3-4 times a week. I just love it. I keep coming back to it. So if folks like what they see here, we'll continue doing these videos, and at some point in time, the stars are going to align, everything will come together, and we'll have an epic run. Unlike this one.
She sought a glorious end and found it.
Hey, at least, she found the glorious end that she was looking for, right? Right? Hey, you've been great.
Do not despair.
There's our broken wagon.
Nobility in the attempt.
Look at those hot candles. A whole 2 of them. Don't spend those all in one place. So there's our broken wagon. Okay, but hey, guess what? Brand new wagon, good as new. 75 flame, we're ready to jump right back in. Hop on the trail again, straight to hell. But I'll tell you, it's a fun game, and I think that it has a pretty big barrier to entry. You know, a lot of this stuff in the game is not obvious. You're going to find yourself Googling. You're going to find yourself going into the index that these guys have set up in the options area to understand the positive and negative icons that you run into throughout your journey. But if you put the time in, this is just a wonderful game. I put in 180 hours into the first Darkest Dungeon. Like I said at the top, I'm probably 60, 70 hours into this game, and I love it. So the more I can show this game off to folks that might be on the fence and maybe bring some additional people into the fold, it's great. It's a huge win. Huge win. Hey, I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you want to see more Darkest Dungeon 2 in this relaxed format that's meant more for the beginning level of play, and I know the level of play on display today, you know, looked very amateur. I have had a run where I've made it all the way to the Darkest Dungeon with trophy in hand. I would not claim to be the most stellar Darkest Dungeon player out there, but I can teach you a few things along the way and probably get you comfortable enough to warm up a seat on the wagon and jump on in there. So anyway, if you want to see more, let me know. I'm happy to do more. And if not, that's fine too. That's totally fine too. I'll continue playing it on the side either way and drinking coffee because it's just such an excellent way to start your day, getting slaughtered by this game. I'm joking. I'm joking. Anyway, Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time out on the Goat Force Gaming channel, where we will play a roguelike or a roguelite because, well, that's what we do every time. And also, we'll give away a video game once a week. How about that? Why don't we do that? We'll do that. We'll do that. Thanks to you, of course, and your support. All right. Take care. We'll see you again soon.